Okay, so welcome back. In this video, I've speed up the process to 3 times the speed of the actual works. Just simply because it's always the same thing, it's the same process, and there's no point in just looking at it in real time. As you can see, I'm doing the same thing. I'm positioning the same chunks and duplicated it there and trying to fill the gaps according to the flow that I have on my references. And in here you see me using the same chunk over and over, just placing it using my move tool as well. Combination of move tool and the bend curve modifier that we talked about. Going for the bottom part here as well. Trying to get the flow of the root, but as well the flow of the braid, so that it goes together. It's very important to understand that from some angles, this type of operation might not be perfect, and sometimes I have found myself that I needed to add cuts underneath these in order to make the thickness look more apparent, especially from the front view. But we'll see how it behaves on the engines, and we'll go from there. For now, we're, like I said, blocking out everything, and if we have to duplicate this hairs and add some more under it, we will do. So I'm going back to the library again and again, getting more chunks and placing them as it starts to get complete. It's very important here, the front part. You want to take references and see how female hair, the hairline is actually laid out in this type of hairstyles. It's super important to get the references going and have a feel of what actually happens in real life, so that it doesn't look odd, obviously, because if you start to just do it from your head and you're not that experienced, then it starts to break and it starts to look weird. You want to avoid that. So again, we're doing the same thing. In here, for example, I was using this chunk, and I was humble enough to see that it wouldn't work there, so I deleted it and go get another one to start again. And that's perfectly fine. If you make a mistake on any of these cards, just delete it, go back. It's better to do that than to cut corners and in the end get a result that it's less than you could achieve. So that's really all there is to it, is just paying attention, trying to understand. Obviously, if it's the first time you're doing this type of process, you don't have a reference to know how it's going to look in the end. So for me, it's obviously easier, and when you're teaching something, it's hard to understand that I do understand, but it's hard to get the notion that the person doing it doesn't have the knowledge and the experience you have on this type of processes. So I keep reminding myself that I need to tell you guys how important it is to keep checking it in your scene, in the marmoset scene. If you want to go for it and check it, that's fine. Finalizing now this part, which is the bottom part there. There's going to be hairs going from the temporal hairline up to the back for some sort of ponytail that's going to join with these braids. So not that much worried about this. This is probably not going to be seen as there's going to be hair over it, but still it's important to get it going. And as the document is starting to get really big, you might want to merge the chunks, which is what I did. I merged them all so I could duplicate it and mirror it to the other side and see how it looks. I noticed that there was a bit of a gap there, so I just went and filled it up with another chunk, which is what I'm doing now. Positioning carefully, trying to get the same type of flow, going with the braid, going with the root, and just mirror to the other side to finish it.